Hey y'all, and welcome to Feasts and Felonies. Today I have some snow crab legs, Dungeness crab, corn, potatoes, rice. This is from Juicy Crab, and I got medium and mild sauce juicy special. The story that I'm talking about today comes from My True Crime Story. It's on Paramount Plus. Taste this. Okay. So, on this episode, it's about a young girl, we'll say Tasha. And when Tasha was growing up, she grew up with a very religious mother. So, she wasn't able to live the typical lifestyle of a young girl. On the weekends, when they're not in school, they can play on their phones or watch TV, listen to music. She wasn't able to do that on the weekend. So that just goes to show, like, her mother was very strict in her religion and the things she allowed her daughter to do. This was like in the mid 90s. So she also wasn't able to listen to like what we would call circular music. Um, so at that age, she went to her aunt a lot, who her aunt was more of like a big sister figure in her life. And she was very protective over her niece. So that's who gave her like her first record, the cute, girly clothes that a young teenage girl would like to wear, things like that. She felt like her aunt was her safe space. So, one day when she was at her aunt's house for the holiday, and they were chilling, watching TV, and then out of nowhere, her aunt started complaining of having chest pains. And, as a little girl, seeing someone you love in pain is scary. And her aunt was like, please just stay with me for the night. And she was like, I can't. I got to go to school tomorrow. I can't stay. I'm so sorry. And the next day, she found out that her aunt passed that night. So at that age, being a young girl who the one person that you felt had your back, you were comfortable with, and could really be yourself around was now gone. She didn't know what to do. Now, she was always like into fashion, music, that sort of thing. Like, that's what she liked. Her mother wasn't allowing her to be, just out being reckless. She was strict. So once her aunt was gone and wasn't giving her the things that she liked and enjoyed, she had to find another way to do that. So it started off, she had one of her friends over. And back then, I mean, sometimes now too, but really a lot back then in the 90s, you would get like catalogs and magazines in the mail. And one came in and her friend was just going through it. And there was a number on there and it was like, if you want this item, just say like it was a CD player. Call this number. So her and her friend were like, well, let's just call it and see what happens. So they call it. yeah, I want to purchase this item. And they're like, okay, well, what payment method would you like to use? And they were like, what? They were like, well, we can start you an account with us. We just need your name and your social. So she said that she just made up some numbers for a social and gave a fake name. So she created a fake identity. They approved her. They sent it out in the mail. Her mom comes home. She sees packages that she did not order, and the UPS guy or the delivery guy was still there. She was like, nope, take all that back. I didn't order that. I don't want it. So the delivery guy took it back. She went in the house, and Tasha got in trouble because her mama wasn't playing none of that. So she was very, upset and aggravated. And she was like, well, now I got to figure out how to get it without you even knowing. Which, at that age, a lot of kids do. Sneaky. Oh, okay. You don't want me to do it? I'm still going to do it and you just won't know. So what she would do, she would call the people, order the items, and the day it's supposed to come, she'll act like she's sick so she wouldn't have to go to school and could get the packages. So she was getting all kind of stuff. And then one day they sent something in the mail. It was a store charge card. So now she could just go into the store, swipe the card, get what she want, and leave. Now at this time, she's only like 14 years old. So she's still a little girl. So she was scared, but she ended up going to the store anyway to see if it would work. So she went in there and she just got like a little bit of stuff just to see, if the card was going to go through. And it did. So from there on, she just started calling everybody. Anybody who got a charge card, I want to open one. I want to set up an account. Because mind you, this wasn't connected to nobody. Nobody real's social or name. So at this point, she buying stuff for herself, her friends, whoever. Is just happy to be able to spend money and have what she wants. And she would take it home and she would hide it from her mom. And her mom said she didn't really suspect too much because she was doing good in school. So she wasn't really, like, wouldn't say in her business, but not like knowing her everything that she had, basically, because she had a lot of stuff. One day, she go in the store with her charge card and it declined. So during the 90s, they started to have a lot of advancements, with technology going into the 2000s. So instead of it automatically going through and being approved with that card, it ran back and said, well, those funds aren't available. So she wasn't able to get what she wanted. But she said she noticed how a lot of retail stores would just take written checks and just put it in a drawer and give you whatever it was that you were trying to purchase. So she was like, let me just open up a bank account. I can write checks. They're not going to go through. So now today, that's not happening. Everything is connected to your social, your first and last name. You have to have your full address. You got to give too much stuff to open up a bank account. You're not going to get away with it, which is probably because Tasha was out there stealing all these people money. So she says, okay, well, I'm going to open up two bank accounts and put $10 in each account so that I can open it and start an account. Mind you, none of this is in her name or with her social. She's just creating stuff, making stuff up. So she opens the accounts, writes herself from one of the accounts a check for $10,000. Now, at this time, she's probably about 15 years old. Writes herself a check for $10,000, dresses up in some of her really nice clothes that she's been able to afford off of her charge cards, goes into the bank, and presents the check. Now, then they didn't really too much ask for ID. And she was a really pretty girl, so she was able to go in there. Hey, I'm just trying to cash this check. I have to get some stuff for school, my books and everything. They took that $10,000 check and handed her $10,000. So at that point, she knew. She like, oh, okay, so I can really do this and get away with it. Because with checks, it takes a while for them to go through. Like, even if you go to the bank like right now with a check, it's gonna take them a few days to clear it, and then they still have like up to 21 days to see if the funds are valid, and they'll still give you like a credit to your account or cash if you go in there, you know, and just put you in the negative if it end up not going through. So she was writing checks and taking them to different banks. She'll have her family or friends drive her to where she's trying to go, so she can go to different check cashing places and banks with fake checks and walk out with the cash. So she did this for a while. And one of the times she had her friend take her and they were running out of gas. Keep in mind, this is a 15-year-old girl, because baby, the way if I'm going to the bank and getting tens of thousands of dollars and need to stop and get gas, I'm going to just drop that little $25 in cash and keep it moving. She didn't do that. She wrote a check for $25 and turned it in. Had her friend taking in, her cousin, I think it was, went in there, paid for the gas with a check. Check is fake. $25 is not going to go through. But he took the check, they put the gas in the tank and kept it moving. It wasn't her car. Her cousin was driving, or friend. So they leave, do what they do, keep getting money, keep getting money. She has gotten at this point, she's in the millions of dollars when it comes to how much money she was able to get. And because, of course, you can't just take this money at the same banks, she's starting to cross state lines. So the gas station they went to was not in the same state that she lived. Okay. So she gets back home and there's a knock on her mom's door. And it's the police. And they arrested her. So she's in jail. She calls her mom. She's like, Mom, I'm locked up. I need you to bail me out. It's two bands. Her mom's like, I don't have that kind of money. And she's like, you know what? Just don't worry about it. It's like, you know what? Just don't worry about it. I'm going to handle it myself. I'll get out. I'll smooth talk him. So the defense was that she cashed the check. Well, she took the check for $25 at that gas station, and the teller recognized her and called the police. So when they got her and she was in the courtroom, the teller's like, "That's not who came in. She wasn't driving the car." So she was able to get off and beat that case. Now, imagine being 15 years old. You almost went to jail. Okay? And you get off scot-free when you the one who really is the mastermind behind it. She thought she could get away with anything. So she kept doing what she was doing. She going into nice stores with these same checks, writing them for however much, walking out with the stuff. Even though she didn't get locked up for what happened with the fraudulent check, the police were still watching her because they knew she was up to something. And now that she had crossed state lines, the federal government was involved. It wasn't just like her local state offices. So the police ended up coming to her house to question her because all these banks know that somebody is going around locally using fake checks and getting a lot of money. So they ended up questioning her. But before they came over and questioned her, she got the heads up. Somebody her mom works with told her the police are coming back to the house. So her mom was like, "Whatever you're doing, you need to stop. Because there should be no reason that the police coming and looking for you. You're only 15 years old, right?" So she take all her stuff that could tie her to robbing them banks, because that's basically what she doing. Put it in bags and ran next door to the neighbor's house and put it like in their like they have like the bins that you burn stuff in. Put it in there. Ran back in the house. The police get there. They question her. She tight-lipped. She ain't saying a word. She don't know what they talking about. So it wasn't really nothing they could do. They couldn't find nothing in the house. They had a warrant to search. It was nothing they could do. Couldn't find anything. So they kept an eye out on her. So she decides, you know what? It's my birthday coming up. I want to do a photo shoot. She does the photo shoot. And even though she should be a millionaire, how else can she pay but with the fake check? Now, they, at this point, they had they didn't have an identity to connect what was happening to her. But she did this photo shoot. Now they have a whole catalog, okay? So when that check did not go through, they reached out to that photographer and got the pictures. And lo and behold, it was her. So at this point, they were able to catch her and bring her in on real charges. Now, because she didn't actually steal anybody's identity and she made them up, the only thing they could charge her with, and I might be saying this wrong, was defrauding the banks. And they said, well, we know you can't pay for this $17 million that you have stolen over the years. So they were trying to sentence her to 21 years at 16 years old. So she ended up only getting 40 months. And while she was in jail, she was speaking with someone there who told her about ballroom, which is like a type of nightlife for the LGBTQ plus community. And because of course, how pretty she was and her liking to dance, be the center of attention, music, they told her that they think that, she would like to do something like that because they model basically, do drag and things like that. And she ended up doing that. And became the queen of ballroom and travels the world and does all kind of stuff that aligns with who she is. So, moral of the story, don't steal money, okay? Definitely don't rob a bank. Let's not do that. Those aren't good ideas. What I do love about this show is they not only show like where the people who committed the crimes messed up, but also how they turned their life around, and try to give back to others. If y'all get a chance, go ahead and watch it. Thank y'all for sitting with me and enjoying some seafood and a true crime story. I hope y'all have a great day.